This is So Many Sequels. I'm Josh.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Garrett.
We're all still the same people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We're going to have fun.
Edgar.
I think we're going to have fun on the show today. We've been doing, David mentioned this I don't know. I always want to say last time. I don't even remember when it was. But David had mentioned at one point this year, man, we've done a lot of heavy movies to start the season.
Yeah. He's not wrong. We have. We've done a lot of heavy movies.
We've done some heavy movies. We started out with The Little Things and Judas and the Black Messiah, and those are two heavy movies. So this episode, we're going to talk about something light and fun, and those are good enough words. We're talking about Tom and Jerry. Warner Brothers' new live-action Tom and Jerry movie.
Is it live action?
Well, yes, it's partly live.
Yes.
It's mostly live action.
Okay.
Directed by Tim Story, who I've never heard of. Anyone heard of Tim Story?
No, he was the pigeon too, right?
He was the pigeon.
I think he played the pigeon.
And then of course the movie stars Chloe Grace Moretz, Michael Pena, Ken Jeong, Rob Delaney, and in a surprise to me, Colin Jost.
Yeah, surprise! I called him
Colin is Scarjo.
I called him the A-list. No, I was expecting that, but I thought it was really funny. I said he was the A-list celebrity cameo that they could afford.
Yeah. Well, he didn't even have a kid. He had a real role in the movie. He wasn't even a kid.
He did. He acted. It was cool.
So
yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking up Tim Story's filmography.
Okay.
He directed Barbershop.
I've seen that movie.
Okay.
He directed both Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, no.
He directed Taxi with Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, that's not good either.
Is that the one with Queen Latifah, though?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could do worse.
A bunch of music videos in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Okay.
He did, Ride Along 2, and his last big movie was the remake of Shaft. So
wow,
the one with 3 generations of Shaft.
Tim Story has a storied history
mm-hmm.
in film.
Not well storied.
So, Tom and Jerry. You love Tom and Jerry. They've been around for decades. Tom the cat, Jerry the mouse. They fight. Sometimes they're friends, but mostly they fight.
Yeah.
The basic gist of the movie is Chloe Grace Moretz her character's name's Kayla. She is a bit of a trickster young woman. She basically steals the identity of this very qualified British woman who is applying for a job at a very fancy hotel in New York City. She gets the job to help plan this extravagant wedding for Colin Jost and his wife, who appear to be just famous influencers, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
They didn't seem to be actors or anything big. And Tom and Jerry have also moved into the hotel and are up to no good. So, to start things out, upon starting the movie on HBO Max, I almost immediately pulled out my phone and opened Twitter to tweet to everyone who follows me that everyone must know that this movie begins with a cartoon bird rapping A Tribe Called Quest. And if you're still on board, then maybe this movie's for you. But I got to tell people right now, this is immediately what happens. The first words are a bird singing A Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, I weirdly liked it. I didn't have a problem with it. Didn't really make any sense. Don't know why it was there, but
it was pointless.
I wasn't mad at it. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it.
It was fun. I will say that the one thing that I liked in this entire movie was the soundtrack.
They had good music.
I don't even remember other songs besides.
Well, like the soundtrack, the soundtrack was like it was very like.
Are you talking about the score?
No. I'm just talking about like they're using like a bunch of hip hop.
It was very hip hop driven.
Yeah, there's a lot of hip hop in this. Some of it, like the songs were good. I feel like some of it was like out of place.
Yeah, maybe.
I could be wrong.
But I don't know. Listen, with a movie like this, when you have animated animals and which I liked it. I thought the animation looked really good. No matter what animal it was, I thought the animation looked really good. But you give yourself up to so much obscure, like whatever. Okay, you're gonna throw in a hip hop song from time to time, whatever. You're a bunch of cartoons. Nah. Yeah. There's some things that I just have to throw away because of the absurdity that is this world.
I think I would have to praise the animation the most because they were 3D characters, but they were created so well that they kept that 2D appearance of the original Tom and Jerry. They weren't realistic looking animals. They looked very much like cartoons that fit in a 3D world, and that was kind of neat. And I liked that all animals were animated. There were no real animals. I don't think. I think they were all, and that was just accepted. That's part of the world. I was kind of thinking going in, this was going to be a thing where like Tom and Jerry were the only animated animals, and it was just going to be weird. But no, we just accept that all animals are cartoons. Some of them talk, some of them don't, and that's not weird. No, all right, that's cool.
I've kind of felt like this was a crossover with like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where like Toontown is like somewhere in the world and still thriving, and Tom and Jerry just are still around.
Yeah.
And they've made their way to New York City along with a bunch of other tunes.
Yeah. Not every movie that tries to put animation in the real world can pull it off. And I thought the animation did that here. Now it's like, it's obviously not even in the same ballpark good as Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But, I think it might be significantly better than Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yeah.
That's like my bar.
Where does it, what?
Worst.
Oh, what about Space Jam?
Oh, Space Jam's good. Space Jam is better than this movie.
Yeah. Space Jam has
not by like a ton.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Because Space Jam is like, it's mostly nostalgia fuel.
Yeah.
Like, you can watch it and you can be like, this is fun and I enjoy this. But like, it's not great. Same for this, I felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like more people would know Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and all the other Looney Tunes. Yeah. Other than Tom and Jerry. Like if you told like a 10-year-old who Tom and Jerry is, they'd be like, who? And
I don't know. That's an interesting experiment, I think. I can't comment one way or another. I mean, you have a nephew. Does your nephew know who Tom and Jerry is?
I don't know, but probably not.
Get him on the phone.
Ask. Call him now. Special guest.
Well, see, now it's tricky.
No, but next time you see him, ask him. Well, I mean, he probably does now because of the movie.
He might say that he saw the commercials and now he does know.
Yeah.
But it fits into this is my big question that I always think about. When a kid is eating a box of Fruity Pebbles, do they know who the Flintstones are? Or are they just the cereal people to them?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because the Flintstones hasn't had like a current or ongoing version of a show in a very long time. They're not constantly reinventing the Flintstones like they are with Scooby-Doo or Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
So I always wonder, do kids just think that they're the cereal people? And now
that is a very good question.
Now we have a similar question for Tom and Jerry.
Facebook, Instagram poll, mark it.
I just assume.
Greg, mark this. Greg, mark this part so we can put it on social media later.
I just assume that they've all seen the movie from 1993.
No, they haven't.
Okay, so you guys have talked about the other movie. I haven't seen the other movies. Josh, you've mentioned that they talk in the other movies, and that you think that was a downfall of this movie, is that Tom and Jerry didn't talk, so they felt like side characters.
In Tom and Jerry the movie, which is a fully animated movie from 1992, Tom and Jerry speak. I mean, Tom is voiced by Richard Kind in that movie. And it helps make the movie about them. You know, it's one thing for the Tom and Jerry shorts to be able to pretty easily maintain a good structure of a film, because a lot of animated shorts started out with no words anyway, you know? So when you're the only two characters, for the most part, you can carry a story without speaking. In this movie, though, when Tom and Jerry don't speak, but some animals like Brutus do, it kind of puts them off to the side. And it really felt like Tom and Jerry as characters were supporting cast to Chloe Grace Moretz, who was kind of the real center point of the movie. It was her story about this whole wedding and hotel trickery and trying to stop Tom and Jerry. And Tom and Jerry were just in the way until they weren't. But even then, they were doing it to help her. So I thought it kind of it was not quite a Tom and Jerry movie in the sense that they're the main characters.
All right.
I wonder, and because I can't speak to the other movies, so I don't know how they're set up, but I wonder if that's not a smart idea. Because I wonder in this day and age, if you make a Tom and Jerry movie, because then you do run into a situation of, kids may not know and be overly familiar with Tom and Jerry. So if you make it about this cat and mouse, maybe it's like doesn't necessarily connect. But if you kind of put them as goofy side characters, maybe that can set them up for something more in the future. Because I feel like it would be, I don't know, all I ever really remember of Tom and Jerry is just them fighting. And so I don't know how a Tom and Jerry focused movie could hold an hour and a half. Yeah. It would be like watching Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote for the same amount of time.
Yeah, you definitely need something to like fill the void, because it'd be like a silent movie for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
that's which is probably where the musical element comes in, especially on this one. And I don't remember the 1992 movie very well. I have seen it, but I think I only saw it once. And that was like...
Do you remember much about it, Josh? Because they're the center of characters around that one, I would assume. So I wonder how that movie would compare to something like this, just to see what they did story-wise.
I don't remember. I don't remember that much.
The only thing I remember is
New project.
Yeah. The only thing I remember is that the house that they were in got destroyed. That's the only thing.
Much like the hotel.
But like, I mean, like this, that like it completely destroyed, like it burned down the house.
Interesting. Well, I'll have to check it out. I'm curious to see how it compares.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Chloe Grace Moretz as well. I thought she was very funny. She was so awkwardly uncomfortable at times that I very much enjoyed, because she was trying to be cool, but like you could tell she didn't. And I thought she was a really good con person. I thought her little trick to get the job at the hotel was humorous. I thought Michael Pena was really funny. I thought he and Chloe had some good back and forth that set them up quite well. But the movie as a whole really struggled to keep my attention. I was okay with it at the beginning, and then I got really interested once Colin Jost showed up weirdly. I think they just kind of sparked my attention as an unexpected thing. And then that story kind of picked up from there, and things seemed to be happening, and then it kind of died down again. And then I just didn't care and was like in it for the rest of the movie. So I think it's a solid kids movie. I think that it's enjoyable. Story doesn't hold up, but like, what do you expect from a kids movie? It's not about the story element. I think, Josh, you said it. I think you said it best. It's, will kids watch it multiple times, and can parents tolerate it?
Yeah, that's my rule for a kids movie. If kids like it and parents don't hate it, it's a success in my book. And then if you can check those two boxes, you can go further at that point, but that's the bare minimum. And you know, this movie didn't like piss me off. It wasn't annoying. It was good enough that like if my nephew wanted to watch it, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that doesn't bother me. It's not popular.
Sure. No, I would not turn this off were it on somewhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose it, but I wouldn't turn it off either.
Yeah.
I thought though that Michael Pena was not as funny as I thought he could be.
Sure.
He was very dry in a almost boring way to me, knowing how over the top he can be. So I wish he could have gotten that over the topness, because he is really the villain to Chloe's character, and it never really felt like a strong rivalry, and I wish it were.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he had to, they could have gone one to two ways with it. And I think the world they created, he was the best villain because, or I don't know, he was very subdued. He could have been very snidely whiplashy if they wanted it to be, where it was just ridiculously over the top. Yeah, but I think that but I think that that's what he would have had to have been because there's so many things that are over the top. Tom and Jerry over the top, Ken Jeong over the top, Colin Jost and everything he's pulling with the wedding over the top. Like he would have to do something to stand out. And I do feel like he's subdued. I think that he's very reserved, but I think that he does the best with what he can. And it's always just nice to see Michael Pena. He's just always very funny, but he definitely can do more and has been in funnier roles. Yeah. So he does seem very reserved here.
Yeah.
He's great in Ant-Man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I know he's capable of doing a bigger character, and I wish he could have gotten the chance.
Yeah.
Just because I know he can. I'm sure it wasn't his choice. I do also really like that Tom and Jerry are, I think they're pretty true to their original characters. They didn't change them up a lot, which is good. And I think that's going to be something that parents and adults who are fans of the original series will enjoy. They're very slapstick. In that, Tom and Jerry have always had that same kind of Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner dynamic, where Tom is always trying to come up with clever ways to catch Jerry, and Jerry just destroys him at all times. I'm immediately thinking of, I got a good laugh out of Jerry sending Tom through the piano at the end. Just funny. That's just funny slapstick. And that's what Tom and Jerry's good at. They're good at making the kids laugh by hurting each other.
Yeah, and I think by leaving them the same as far as looks go is a smart strategy. Because you can try to change them up, but again, they may not be as well known as some of these other characters. I don't remember the last revitalization of Tom and Jerry. I know there have been some, but I don't remember when.
Well, and can you imagine like the nightmare fuel it would have been if they did what some animated movies do and try to make the animals look realistic?
Oh yeah.
If we had a realistic cat and mouse, it would have been just gross and weird.
It would have been weird, and I think that this is a good opportunity for parents, grandparents, whomever. Again, obviously you can't really do that right now. But I think that if this movie come out in a different time, it was a really good opportunity for like generations of people to watch it together. Maybe they still can in some way, shape, or form, but nice family gathering post-vaccine.
Do y'all remember the live action Underdog movie from several years ago with Jason Lee?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I never saw it, but I do remember that was a thing.
I love Underdog, the cartoon. Love him. Used to watch Underdog all the time as a kid. But the movie, they made him look like a real dog, and that's not acceptable. If they had just made him look like cartoon Underdog, I think it would have been so much better. But they put a real beagle in not a real beagle, but you know what I mean. A realistic looking beagle in an Underdog costume. And no likey. No likey.
No, it's weird.
I think that's Tom and Jerry. I don't think.
I have one more
Okay.
that I want to bring up that I thought was very funny, and I just wanted to see if you guys picked up on it. Droopy Drawers makes an appearance in this movie. Do you guys know who Droopy Drawers is?
Yes. I'm trying to remember if I remember seeing him in the movie though.
Okay. Yeah. So Droopy Drawers he's a dog. Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Oh, Droopy the dog? No, man, I must have missed that.
He was at the pound when Tom and Jerry were arrested and taken to the pound in a Hannibal Lecter mask. And he just said, hello. And it was really, really funny. And if you missed it, you should go watch it because it was very funny.
All right.
Okay. I mean, I'd watch it again, maybe in the background.
Well, you don't have to watch the whole movie, but if you just want, I don't remember what part it is, but it's just a subtle little Easter egg, and if you know who Droopy Drawers is, it was very funny to see him in that element.
Okay. Cool. So that's Tom and Jerry. It came out in theaters and on HBO Max same day. As with all of these dual releases for Warner Brothers, the movie stays on HBO Max for a month before leaving and remaining a theatrical exclusive until it leaves theaters and comes back. So catch it wherever you can, wherever it's available when you want to watch it. You know, if it's not on HBO Max still, it will certainly come back. And if you're in a place where you feel comfortable and can safely see movies in theaters, maybe check it out there if you'd like. Kids movies are doing well in the box office. David's not here to go through his box office spiel, and I don't really have one prepared. But I will say that of the pandemic released movies, the kids movies are doing well, which surprises me. Just because I didn't expect like families to go out in groups with the kids, but I mean the Croods.
Well, I think.
Thought, oh my God, your voice sounded like David for a minute there, and I thought he just like jumped in somehow, and I was like, what is happening?
Surprise! No, I think the kids, a lot of kids, are out of school. Their school's not open, and I think that if parents are vaccinated or if they feel comfortable, then they're like, take my kid to the movie, and that's what's out. So maybe that's the situation. They're just trying to find something to do for the kids, and they know that kids are less set. I mean, who knows? I'm speculating, but
yeah, I mean, Tom and Jerry opened with $14.1 million its opening weekend, which is the second best opening weekend of the entire pandemic, behind Wonder Woman 84. So it had a pretty good opening considering the circumstances. Like I was saying earlier, The Croods has been like in the top 1 to 2 movies each weekend since it came out, and it's available on streaming. So people are going out to see the kids' movies. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's play our letterbox game, right?
Yep.
Isn't it Andrew in charge?
It is me.
Okay.
And I've had it pulled up. I will say that the reviews are not kind.
Yeah, I expected that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Where do you all sit? Who has the highest score?
Oh, I don't know. That's David's job.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh man,
who it is.
I've won once. Josh, have you won once or twice?
I think I've won once.
Okay.
But I don't remember.
God, we're all tied.
So,
well,
whatever. I picked 2.5.
You pick what?
2.5.
2.5. Oh my God. Well, I mean, I was gonna go 2.3.
Okay.
So I will.
So, would you like me to read a couple of these reviews, or shall we just get?
You do it however you want. You want to leave us in suspense
I definitely
a little longer,
want to hear a couple, but whatever order, I don't care.
Well, so far the best review I've seen is a person by Silent Dawn.
Silent Dawn.
Yeah, it is. It's only 2 stars. It's honestly incredible how dedicated this movie is, and by that I mean completely ignoring the promise of its premise. All you need to do is to put these two characters in a hotel with a bunch of pots and pans and sharp objects, and you have a 90-minute classic. But the film consistently goes out of its way to try something different and worse with horrible results. Just watch the original shorts, or if you want a fun hybrid of live action and animation, watch Looney Tunes back in action. Okay.
Look, we were extra kind to Tom and Jerry. I know.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. It's not that big of a train wreck. Like, we could have destroyed it if we wanted to, but what's the point?
I did see
You
this.
have to know what you're getting into, friends. It's a kid's movie. It's not meant to be a cinematic masterpiece. It's not meant to, I don't know. It's meant to give you a little bit of nostalgia with Tom and Jerry and a kid movie.
Sorry, Silent Dawn.
No offense. Yeah, with all due respect.
Follow us on Letterboxd.
One reviewer said, he said, it's 2000s The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle mixed with Dunstan Checks In, and it stars my favorite animated cat and mouse. How could I not love it?
Oh,
that's a good review.
It has no stars, so I'm gonna say it's a good review.
Rocky and Bullwinkle, bad.
Yes.
Dunstan Checks In, masterpiece.
Yes.
And Tom and Jerry falls somewhere in
between. Tom and Jerry are really good. So okay.
I mean,
I was out at Rocky and Bullwinkle, but I'm back in at Dunstan Checks In.
Okay. All right. So Josh, you had 2.5. Garrett, you had 2.3.
Yep.
I did.
Okay. The winner for this week is Garrett.
Really? It's that low?
It's actually like he is higher than that. It's actually
no. It's 2.0.
It's 2. What?
2.0.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well,
nobody was kind to this. And this is out of 13,000 people have watched this.
Okay. So for my personal rating scale, I'm stuck, and maybe you guys can help me. Because I'm looking at the way that I have it on my Letterboxd account. And 2.5 is an okay movie. I feel like this movie's okay. It can't be 2, but I also feel like 2.5 is a little high. 2 is disappointed. I was not disappointed in this movie. This movie delivered exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But 1.5, I feel like is low, but that's why I label it like enjoyable but not good. That's what it is. But like it's better than that. So I think I'm gonna go. I don't know. I think I'll do 2.5. I guess it's a very generous 2.5. Just know that I'm being very generous because this movie is perfectly fine. Don't expect more than fine.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna make me give it the highest score. Okay, I'm giving it a 3, which on my scale is good, and it is a good. I think. I don't know. I probably lost my cred, but I don't have much to begin with. I will say though, while you guys were talking, I needed to double check just for some sanity's sake how this movie did over at our old friends at Rotten Tomatoes. Critics gave it's got 25% critics have given this a negative review, but audiences, 85% of audiences have given it a positive review.
Okay. So that honestly, that's fair. That's fine.
Mainstream audiences like it a bit more than Letterboxd audience stuff.
I'm somewhere in between those two. It's not 25% bad. It's not 85% good.
85?
No, it's somewhere in the middle.
That's a big middle.
It's a big gap. Probably closer towards the 25, but that's okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm just glad to know that some people enjoyed it. Because
I very much enjoyed it.
It's really not the worst thing in the world. It's not a 2.0.
It's not. I don't know. I feel fair with the 2.0. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so we got to, I got to do the math. I forgot. It's going to, we have such a wide scale. It's going to be somewhere in the middle.
so
Oh, wait,
excited.
that's not
I'm
right.
glad. I'm just glad I don't have to do the math.
Here we go. No, I'm still doing it wrong. We had a 2, we had a 2.5, and we had my 3. Divide that by 3, you get a dead even 2.5.
Wow. How about that?
So,
okay.
Which was also our score for the Little Things, our season premiere.
Wow.
Do you all agree?
Honestly, I'd rather watch Tom and Jerry.
I would too.
Yeah.
Without question.
I feel like Tom and Jerry makes more sense.
Yeah.
And is a little bit more entertaining.
A lot more relaxing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that wraps up this episode. Be sure to find us online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I always forget to add TikTok, which, I know we're not very active on there, but we're probably more or just as active on there as we are on Twitter. And I say that every week. So
that's true.
If you want the real deal, the real goods, the content, that's you're going to have to go to Instagram for that. That's where the best stuff is.
Oh, yeah. A+ right there.
On all those places. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this video with your friends who are Tom and Jerry stans or want to be, or I don't know, or who hate it. I don't know. Share it with Then be sure to check out the podcast version if you're not into that game yet. We're on all the apps, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Soundstooth, and everything else. Yeah.
All right.
Like and subscribe. We'll see you all next time. Bye now.
Bye-bye.